Hey there, gentlemen. I'm Dr. Thomas Whitaker, a retired physician who's spent decades helping men just like you live stronger, healthier lives. Today, I want to share something heavy but hopeful, a morning routine to help older men feel young again. Let's start with a story that hit me hard. A few years back, I heard about a man named George, a 68-year-old widower from a small town in Ohio. George was found one morning in his favorite armchair, gone. Not from a heart attack or cancer, but from what I call a silent decline. His neighbors said he'd been pulling back for years, stopped going to the diner, quit his weekly poker games, even avoided his grandkids. His house was tidy, but his life had become small. The coroner said natural causes, but I'd argue it was something else. George stopped living long before his heart stopped beating. This isn't rare. I've seen it too many times. Good men, strong men, fathers, husbands, fading away, not because of disease, but because they let go of what keeps them vital. It's a hidden epidemic among older men, and it's preventable. George's story could have been different if he'd known what I'm about to share with you. 7 signs your body is begging you to stay intimate after 60. Intimacy isn't just about romance or desire. It's about your hormones, your blood flow, your brain, and your sense of self. Ignore it, and you risk losing more than you realize. I remember another patient, Mike, a 72-year-old retired mechanic from Sydney. Mike came to me embarrassed, saying he'd stopped taking care of himself, you know what I mean, for years. He thought it was inappropriate at his age, but he was tired, moody, and felt like half the man he used to be. When we talked, I explained it's not about chasing youth. It's about keeping your body and mind sharp. What you don't use, you lose. Mike listened, made changes, and a year later he was back to fishing with his mates, laughing, living. This video is for you if you're over 60, whether you're in the US, UK, Australia, or Canada. I'm here to talk straight, like a friend who's been around the block and seen the science. We're diving into why staying intimate, yes, even solo, matters, what happens when you don't, and a morning routine to help older men feel young. Stick with me because you're worth it. All right, gentlemen, let's get into the nuts and bolts of why staying intimate after 60 is critical for your health. This isn't about feeling frisky. It's about keeping your body and mind firing on all cylinders. I'm talking about a morning routine to help older men feel young, and it starts with understanding what's going on under the hood. Your body is like a classic car. Neglect it and it rusts. Use it and it hums. Intimacy, even self-intimacy, is a key part of that maintenance. When you stop, whether it's masturbation or other forms of sexual activity, your body notices. Here's how it works, plain and simple. First, testosterone. This hormone is your body's fuel for energy, mood, and muscle strength. After 60, your levels naturally dip, but regular sexual activity, even solo, signals your body to keep producing it. Studies show men who stay active in this way have higher testosterone levels than those who don't. Low testosterone? You're looking at fatigue, weak muscles, and a foggy brain. What you don't use, you lose. Next, circulation. Every time you get, let's say, engaged, your blood vessels open up, especially down there. This keeps your vascular system flexible, like stretching a rubber hose to prevent cracks. Poor circulation from inactivity can lead to erectile issues, heart problems, even dementia risk. A 2016 study in the Journal of Sexual Medicine found men over 60 who maintained sexual activity had better cardiovascular health. Blood flow matters, gents. Then there's your nerves. Sexual activity stimulates the pelvic nerves, keeping them responsive. Think of it like oiling a hinge. If you don't move it, it seizes up. Nerve health affects not just intimacy, but bladder control and mobility. Neglect this and you're inviting trouble. Finally, your brain. Orgasms release dopamine and oxytocin, chemicals that boost mood and reduce stress. They're like a reset button for your mental health. Without this, your brain can get stuck in a rut, making depression or anxiety worse. A 2018 study from the UK showed older men who stayed sexually active reported better cognitive function. Your brain needs this workout. I had a patient, John, a 65-year-old from Toronto. He stopped all sexual activity after his wife passed, thinking it was behind him. A year later, he was lethargic, forgetful, and his blood pressure was spiking. We tested his testosterone low, his circulation sluggish. I explained it's not about desire, it's biology. What you don't use, you lose. John started small changes, and 6 months later, he was sharper, stronger, and smiling again. So why does stopping matter? Because your body is begging you to keep going. Ignoring these systems, hormones, blood flow, nerves, brain, sets off a domino effect. Next, let's talk about what that decline feels like, because I bet some of you are nodding along, recognizing these signs in yourselves. Gentlemen, let's get real for a moment. You've heard the science, how stopping intimacy after 60 can tank your testosterone, clog your circulation, dull your nerves, and fog your brain. But what does that feel like? I'm not just a doctor. I'm a man who's seen 70 summers myself, and I know it's not just numbers on a chart. It's the weight in your chest, the mirror you avoid, the life you don't recognize anymore. This is about a morning routine to help older men feel young, but first, let's talk about the decline that creeps in when you let go of intimacy. Picture this. You wake up, and the world feels gray. Not sad exactly, but flat. You skip your morning coffee with the guys because, well, what's the point? Your energy's gone, like someone unplugged you. Maybe you snap at your wife or your kids over nothing, then feel like garbage for it. You're avoiding intimacy, not just sex, but even a hug or a kind word, because it feels like too much effort. Or worse, you're ashamed. You're not performing like you used to, so you hide. Sound familiar? These are signs your body is begging you to stay connected, to keep that spark alive. Let me tell you about Frank, a 67-year-old from Manchester I worked with. Frank was a proud guy, ran his own plumbing business, raised 3 kids, loved his wife, Diane. After he retired, he started pulling back. He stopped initiating with Diane, stopped even thinking about self-intimacy. He told me, "Doc, I'm too old for that nonsense." But then he noticed he wasn't himself. He'd sit in his shed for hours, not working, just staring. He felt useless, like his manhood was slipping away. Diane said he was moody, distant. Frank was depressed but didn't know it. He was ashamed to admit he felt weak, like he'd failed as a man. That shame is a killer. It's not just about sex. It's about losing your sense of self. You start avoiding mirrors because you don't like the guy looking back. You dodge social events because you're tired, or you're worried someone will notice you're not all there. Maybe you're embarrassed about erectile issues or low drive, so you shut down completely. I see this in men across the US, UK, Australia, Canada. Good men who think slowing down is just aging, but it's not. What you don't use, you lose. Depression creeps in like damp rot. You lose motivation, projects you loved, like fixing, up the car or gardening, sit untouched. You might feel anxious, like you're not enough anymore. Your confidence takes a hit, and that's when you start believing the lie. I'm done. This is just how it is. But it's not. These are signs: depressed mood, lack of motivation, avoiding intimacy, shame, that your body needs you to act. I remember Frank's face when I asked, "Do you recognize these signs in yourself?" He nodded, eyes wet. He wasn't alone, and neither are you. This decline isn't your fault, but it's in your power to fight it. You're still a man with fire in you, even if it's flickering. Next, I'll share practical steps to rebuild that spark, to bring back the energy, the pride, the you that's still in there. Because this morning routine to help older men feel young isn't just about health, it's about reclaiming your life. All right, gents, we've talked about the heavy stuff, the science of why intimacy matters after 60, and the emotional gut punch of letting it slip away. Now, let's roll up our sleeves and talk solutions. This is about a morning routine to help older men feel young, and I'm here to give you practical, no-nonsense steps to take back your vitality. This isn't about chasing your 20s or being a Casanova. It's about health, manhood, and living like you mean it. You're not done yet, and here's how to prove it to yourself. First, let's talk self-intimacy. I know, it's awkward to say out loud, but it's just us here. Regular self-touch, yes, masturbation, is one of the best things you can do for your body. It keeps your testosterone pumping, your blood flowing, and your nerves sharp. Aim for 2 to 3 times a week, or whatever feels natural. It's not about desire. It's like brushing your teeth, a habit for health. If you're struggling with performance, don't hide. Talk to your doctor about erectile issues. Medications like Viagra or lifestyle tweaks can help. I had a patient, Ray, a 70-year-old from Perth. He was embarrassed to admit he'd stopped entirely. We worked on a plan. Small steps, no pressure. And within months he felt sharper, stronger and prouder. Second, move your body. Physical activity is rocket fuel for your hormones and circulation. You don't need a gym membership. Start with a 20-minute walk every morning. Add some light strength training, like bodyweight squats or lifting a couple of water jugs 2 to 3 times a week. Exercise boosts testosterone and keeps your heart healthy, which supports intimacy. Ray started walking his dog daily, and it wasn't just his body that improved. He was laughing again, joking with his neighbors. Third, eat like you care about yourself. Cut back on processed junk, chips, sodas, fast food. Load up on whole foods, lean meats, fish, eggs, nuts, vegetables, and fruits. Omega-3s in salmon or walnuts are great for your brain and blood flow. Zinc in pumpkin seeds or oysters supports testosterone. Don't skip breakfast. A bowl of oatmeal with berries and a sprinkle of nuts sets you up right. Hydrate too. Aim for 8 glasses of water a day. Small changes add up. Frank, that Manchester plumber I mentioned, swapped his nightly beer and crisps for grilled chicken and a salad. He dropped 10 pounds and said he felt 10 years younger. Fourth, get your hormones checked. Low testosterone isn't just aging, it's fixable. Ask your doctor for a blood test to check your levels. If they're low, discuss options like lifestyle changes or, in some cases, hormone therapy. But don't self-medicate. Work with a Pro-John. My Toronto patient got tested and found his levels were in the basement. A mix of diet, exercise, and medical advice got him back on track. Fifth, prioritize sleep. Poor sleep tanks your testosterone and mood. Aim for 7-8 hours a night. Create a wind-down routine. No screens an hour before bed, maybe read a book or listen to calm music. Keep your bedroom cool and dark. Ray fixed his sleep habits and said it was like flipping a switch on his energy. Sixth, talk about it. Shame thrives in silence. Open up to your partner, a friend, or even a therapist. You'd be surprised how many men feel the same way. Frank told his wife, Diane, what he was going through. She didn't judge. She supported him, and it brought them closer. Finally, build a morning routine to tie it all together. Wake up, drink a glass of water, stretch for 5 minutes, eat a solid breakfast, and take a walk. Once or twice a week, make time for self-intimacy. No guilt, just health. This routine isn't about adding stress. It's about giving your body what it needs to thrive. These steps, self-touch, exercise, diet, hormone checks, sleep, talking, and a solid morning routine to help older men feel young, aren't magic. They're choices. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. Start small like Ray did with his walks or Frank with his diet. Every step forward is a win for your health, your manhood, and your quality of life. Next, I'll wrap this up with a message to keep you going because you're worth fighting for. Gentlemen, we've covered a lot today. Why staying intimate after 60 keeps your body and mind strong, what it feels like when you let that part of you fade, and practical steps to fight back. This morning routine to help older men feel young isn't just about health, it's about you, the man you are, the life you still have ahead. I'm Dr. Thomas Whitaker, and I want you to hear this loud and clear. You're not done yet. You're still a man. You still matter. I think back to Frank, that plumber from Manchester, when he started making changes, eating better, walking, even opening up to his wife. He didn't just get his energy back. He got himself back. He told me, "Doc, I thought my best days were gone. But I'm still here, and I'm not giving." Top, that's the spirit I see in every man who chooses to fight this silent decline. Whether you're in the US, UK, Australia, or Canada, you have that same fire inside you. It might be flickering, but it's not out. Here's the truth. Aging doesn't mean surrendering. You don't have to fade into the background like George, sitting alone in his armchair. You can wake up each morning, take that walk, eat that healthy breakfast, and yes, keep that intimate spark alive. Because it's not about desire, it's about life. Every small step you take, whether it's a glass of water or an honest talk with your doctor, is a victory. You're proving to yourself, your family, maybe even the world, that you're still in the game. So, what's next? Start today. Pick one thing from this morning routine to help older men feel young. Maybe it's a 10-minute walk or swapping that soda for water. Don't aim for perfect. Aim for progress. If you're feeling stuck, talk to someone, a doctor, a friend, your eye partner. And if you're struggling, don't hide it. Reach out. You're not alone in this. I want to hear from you. If this message hit home, leave a comment below. Share one thing you're going to try, or just tell me what's on your mind. If you're wrestling with shame, low energy, or feeling like you've lost your spark, drop it in the comments. We'll work through it together. Your story might just inspire another man to keep going. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, maybe a brother, a friend, your dad, share this video. It could change their life. Before I go, let me say this. You're worth the effort. Your health, your manhood, your happiness, they're not relics of the past. You've got years to live, laughs to share, maybe even grandkids to chase. So stand up, take that first step, and keep that fire burning. Subscribe for more straight talk like this, hit that like button if this resonated, and let's keep this conversation going. I'm here for you, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay strong, gents.